The call came at 9:13. I was watching TV. Rain was hitting the window like nails. Mom never called that late from work. When I picked up, all I heard was her breathing. Then she whispered, "Baby, I think there's a child locked in the basement." I sat up. What? I was cleaning the back hall near the boiler. I heard banging, crying. A boy. I opened the old steel door and he was in there, on the floor, tied. My mom worked as a night janitor at Crestfield Academy, the most expensive school in the county. $42,000 a year tuition, marble floors, heated lockers, diplomas on the wall from Harvard, Yale, Oxford. She cleaned their halls for $13.25 an hour. Never late, never complained. Until that night. I told her to call 911. She already had. Said, "They're on their way." I drove like a maniac through the rain. 22 minutes. By the time I got there, a patrol car was already parked outside the back gate. But the boy? Gone. They told us there was nothing there. Just an empty room. A storage closet. I asked, "Where's the kid?" The cop said, "Ma'am, there's no evidence a child was ever present." I said, "My mom saw him." He said, "Maybe she got confused. Maybe it was a sound from the pipes." I said, "She's not stupid." Then they made her leave, told her she was suspended until the incident was reviewed. 3 days later, they fired her. I tried to talk to the school board. They refused to meet. Told me unauthorized persons have no grounds for entry. I said, "A boy was locked up in your building." They said no such incident occurred. But Mom knew what she saw. His face, pale, dirty, a bruise on his cheek, and one word he kept whispering, "Don't tell, please. They'll find me." That was the moment I stopped being afraid of names like Crestfield. That was the moment I became someone who would burn every polished lie to the ground. My name is Zara. I'm 29, freelance writer, former teacher. And now? Now I investigate silence. First, I pulled the school layout from public records. Every floor, every wing. There was no storage room where Mom found the boy, but there was a utility space, sealed off in 2004. No reason listed. Just marked, "Access suspended pending review." I snuck in during a campus tour, posed as a prospective parent, recorded hallway cams on my phone. That's when I saw it. 2 kids, older, maybe 15, walking a younger boy. But not like friends. Like guards. One had a walkie, the other wore gloves. And the boy in the middle? Face down, shuffling. I followed them around the corner. Then they disappeared. No exit, no door, just a wall panel. I took a photo, zoomed in. It was magnetic. Faint keypad beneath. I went online, posted on a private education forum, asked if anyone had ever heard of disciplinary seclusion spaces in private schools. 2 people responded anonymously. One said, "They call it the gray room. Rich parents pay extra for internal handling instead of public records." The other wrote, "If you see the blue lanyards, that's staff assigned to the punishment program. Don't approach." I printed the messages, showed them to my mom. She started crying, said, "He had a blue lanyard. The man who took the boy away." I filed a report with Child Protective Services. Nothing. I went to the press. One small blog picked it up. Then the story disappeared. That's when I realized Crestfield had protection. Legal, financial, digital. But I had something more dangerous. A mother who wouldn't forget. We broke back into the school the next week, and what we found in the basement was just the beginning. We broke in on a Sunday. Security was lighter. The campus tour groups were gone. Most staff at home. Mom distracted the guard at the side gate. I slipped in through the delivery entrance, found the hallway, found the panel. It beeped red at my touch. But I had something new. A bypass code. Got it from a whistleblower in the forum. He said he used to be a junior tech. Said, try 8826R. It worked. The panel slid open. Behind it, a stairwell. Bare concrete. One red light. It smelled like bleach and rust. I went down 12 steps, then saw the door. Steel, bolted, no window. But I heard movement, a whisper, breathing. And then, from behind the door, hello? My heart stopped. It was a child's voice. I whispered, are you alone? He said, they come during check-ins. Then they leave. I asked, how long have you been here? He didn't answer right away, then said, since before winter break. I pressed my palm against the door, said, I'm going to get you out. He said nothing, just whispered, are you the new test? I left. Didn't open the door, didn't risk it. Because now I knew this wasn't punishment. It was programmed containment. We pulled city records, found a funding shell. Crestfield's Development Annex, privately funded. No inspections. Legally classified as Internal Behavioral Support System. Budget, $2.1 million per year. I leaked the story to a local journalist. Her name was Tessa. She didn't hang up after I said the word basement. I sent her photos, diagrams, audio from the stairwell. She said, I believe you, and then, but we need someone who lived it. And that's when he showed up. His name was Jonah, 15, skinny, barely 5'2". He found us, said he saw our message on the forum, said, I was in there, last year, for 19 days. He trembled when he spoke. They put him in for failure to cooperate with counseling. His parents paid extra to avoid expulsion. He said the room had no window, no light timer, no mattress, just rubber tiles and a folded blanket. Food once a day through a slot. Surveillance 24/7. He tried to escape once. They drugged him. He still had the scar on his arm. Tessa filmed the interview, posted it anonymously. It blew up on Twitter in 6 hours. Then national. Crestfield denied everything. Said it was disgruntled fabrications. Said Jonah never attended. But we had his student ID and his report cards, and an email from a teacher who apologized for what the system did to him. The board panicked, issued a statement. We've launched a third-party review. I read between the lines. They were cleaning house. Then I got a message. From a blocked number, stop looking, the child is gone. But I didn't believe them.
Because I heard his voice, and I remembered what he whispered. Are you the new test? This wasn't punishment. This was experimentation. And we were just scratching the surface. The last door was opened with a crowbar, not a passcode, not a key, just force and fear and urgency. Because by the time the press got wind of it, the board had already begun destroying the records. But they were too late. Tessa got a whistleblower, a junior administrator who'd been hired to sanitize logs. He copied the hard drives instead. They showed everything. The seclusion program, tiered isolation protocols, parental authorization contracts. The most damning file? A roster. 36 names, dates of intake, durations of confinement, medical notes, one column titled Behavioral Deviation Goals. Next to Leighton Carter's name, prolonged removal of comfort stimuli, observed breakdown pattern. Next to Amelia's son, Test response to silence. No speech access for 7 days. Next to boy 22, undocumented. Stress assessment. No identification required. Monitor. The last entry was blank. No name. Just Unit 4. Ongoing. That was the boy Mom found. The one who whispered, "Don't tell." The one still down there. So we went back. Me, Mom, Tessa, Jonah, 2 lawyers, and a local councilwoman who'd seen the footage and said, "Not in my city." We had the code, the documents, and now a federal injunction. They tried to stop us. School security formed a wall. But the councilwoman read the injunction out loud. By order of the court, all private spaces must be made available for inspection. The guards backed down. We descended into the dark. Same stairwell, same stench. But now the lock was gone. The door creaked. And inside, he was there, curled in the corner. Smaller than I remembered, but alive. We found 5 more. None older than 12. All malnourished, all scared, all documented in internal logs as Tier 3 isolation. Crestfield collapsed within a week. The board resigned. The headmaster fled the state. Parents sued, so did we. The FBI opened a case. 5 schools were named. Crestfield wasn't alone. This was a system. Now I run a foundation. Jonah helps, so does Tessa, so does Mom. We visit schools, hold trainings, fund therapy for survivors. The boy we found, his name is Leo. He lives with a foster family now. Draws superheroes, smiles, sleeps with the light on. Every time I visit, he asks, "You still write?" I say always, because some stories you don't get to forget. You just retell them loud enough so no one else ever has to live them. My mom was a janitor at a private school. One night she found a boy locked in the basement. And now the world knows he was never alone. Thank you for watching. If you want to get more of that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.